Hey guys, what's up? Blacker Bricks here, back with another video. Now, the idea for this video actually comes from another YouTuber named Banana Bricks, so definitely check their channel out. Anyways, this video is about how to buy Lego in bulk. So there is so much information that I've actually decided to make this into a two-part series. The first will be released today, and the second one in just a couple days. Now, anyways, let's get right into it. So the very first way or website I would suggest is Bricklink and Brickowl. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, why have you put Bricklink and Brickowl on the same part? And that's because in purpose for this video, they're really effectively the same. There obviously are quite a few differences as both buyers and sellers, but they are marketplaces run by Lego fans, and so the qualities are somewhat different. So I've broken down this list into just 3 different places, and each one has a list of pros and cons and then a picture at the end. So I will try my best to elaborate, but if there's something you felt I left out or you'd like to hear more about, or maybe something I didn't explain, let me know. All right, so the pros for Bricklink and Brickowl is that they have the largest selection of pieces by a lot. All of the other methods I'm going to name today do have great quantities of pieces, but their selection might not be the best. Now, this is a bulk Lego video, so that's really the biggest focus, but I think it's important for me to also mention some other factors. So it definitely has the largest selection, so you can get pieces in pretty much every color, in every shape, every size, so they have a lot of stuff on Bricklink and Brickowl. Now, another pro is that I put relatively fast shipping because at the end of the day, it does matter who your seller is. And recently, there has been slower shipping times, and that's because of a higher demand for Lego. But on Bricklink, shipping is generally faster than other websites I'm going to talk about today. So I put that as a pro because you can expect your package 1 to 2 weeks. Now, there are exceptions. There are times that you'll get it in a day or two, and there are times it might take a month or more. So don't hold this to be 100% accurate. It's just a general rule of thumb. So another pro, and this might be a little bit more specific, but wanted list optimization. So that's something that is a huge pro of Bricklink. And realizing that as I'm reading this, it's not super relevant as someone that's buying in bulk, but I thought I'd put it up there because it's very, very helpful for those of you that are using wanted lists. Let's take a look at the cons now. So not all parts are in bulk. So if there is a part, maybe let's say that you really want, it comes from a good seller, good price. The issue is it's only in a quantity of 3 or 4 is available. So not all parts are available in bulk. That being said, there are some parts that are available in bulk and quantities that are actually mind-boggling. There are sellers that have just crazy quantities, like in the thousands. So they'll have 10,000 of a part or 20,000. So there are some stores that actually specialize in that. They might only have a couple lots, but they have crazy quantities. So that's definitely something to look into as well. Another con, well, this is really more of a con for me, but many parts are used. And for some of you guys, used parts are fine. I've bought used parts, and I continue to buy used parts. But I am not the biggest fan, and I know some people are quite strict about not. So you do need to watch out for that on Bricklink and Brickowl, is that there are quite a few used parts, and a lot of those are in high quantities. Another con is that new parts are expensive. So if you want to buy a lot of a new part, I'm just going to give a couple of examples. The new mosaic pieces that came with the 16 by 16 Technic pieces, or perhaps the stems from the botanical collection, or maybe the road plates. New parts on Bricklink and Brickowl are always extremely expensive, and that's because they don't really have any set price. It's kind of just dictated by supply and demand. So if there are very few of a piece and a lot of demand, price will be really high, and it's kind of honestly a bit random. So that is definitely one con. And here is just a picture of an order I placed on Bricklink a while ago. Had a great time. I enjoy Bricklink. I think it's definitely one of the best ways to get parts. Maybe not the best for bulk though. All right, so here we have Bricks and Pieces and Pick a Brick Online. So these are both services available on the Lego website, and there are a couple of small differences which I will go over. So the pros is that all parts are new. You will only get new parts from Lego, and that's really great. Another pro is that new parts are available at low prices. So the parts I talked about, I have ordered stingrays, I have ordered leaf pieces, I have ordered sharks. I have ordered some little dinosaur pieces. So pretty much all the new parts that are normally super expensive are cheap because they have sort of set prices on this Lego website. So that's definitely one of the best things. Now, I know I put this as a pro, but it can also be looked at as a con. Bricks and Pieces, which is where you would go if you were to get replacement parts and then press on buy bricks. That has a 200 piece limit. And then the Pick-a-Brick online has a 999 part limit. So these can be seen as cons, and I completely understand. Some people want more than that. They actually have an option that you can email them and ask for larger quantities, and usually they'll work with you pretty well. I have to tell you, though, I have never tried this before, so I don't know how lenient they are with that. Anyways, it is definitely quite cool because you can get some not so common or not so available parts in fairly high quantities, so that's really cool. Now, these are the cons, and when I say many parts not available, I am sort of saying that, take that with a grain of salt, right? Because there have literally been thousands and thousands of Lego pieces released over the course of the last 50 plus years. And so when I say many parts are not available, that's really only in comparison to sites like Bricklink and Brickout. So there are lots of pieces that will be out of stock, maybe not available anymore, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, another con is slow shipping, and I know some of you guys might accredit this to the recent pandemic and shipping delays, and I completely understand that. It's I mean, it's something that everyone's struggling with, so I don't see that as a super big issue, but this slow shipping is something that's been going on for a while now, right? Before any of this pandemic started. They're kind of known for that because a lot of these pieces are coming from outside of the US. So for me, who's living in the US, it's tough. For those of you living in Europe, I'm actually kind of curious. How long does it usually take? I know they ship from Poland and Denmark. At least that's my experience. So slow shipping can be a bit frustrating, especially nowadays. Now, the last con is sort of, I'd say it's hard to search for parts. So compared to Bricklink or any of the other things we've talked about, there's no real search bar that you can just put in the name. You have to put in the part number. So you have to have some place where you can actually search up the part number. So it is a bit challenging to search for parts and kind of time consuming. Here's a picture of a Bricks and Pieces order I placed. I do apologize, the quality of this picture is not the greatest, but I got these for really good prices. If I was to buy these same pieces in the same quantities, which was fairly high, I'd end up spending way more money than I was interested in. So would definitely recommend this for bulk orders. Okay. So this is the last one for today's video, and I am pretty excited about this one. So this is Lugbulk. Now, Lugbulk, which stands for Lego Users Group Bulk, is a fairly newer thing. I think it's about 10, 11 years old now. So I'll explain a little bit and hopefully give a little bit of context so you guys understand. So Lugbulk is really a program that Lego has been doing, and they've been working with these official or registered Lego users groups, which are really just groups run by AFOLs or adult fans of Lego, where they just meet up and build mocks together and discuss and do things like parts drafts. So the Lugbulk really is a program where Lego fans order pieces directly through Lego, and they get really great discounts. So for those of you that are a little bit more familiar with Lug or Lugbulk, you know that there's a lot of secrecy and confidentiality that goes along with this, and they really don't want anyone to go out and say what the prices are, and honestly that's completely understandable. I should explain to you right now that I am not part of a Lug currently, so I have not tried this Lugbulk out. I will definitely in the future, probably this year. I'm planning on joining a Lug. So yeah, I thought that would be... Very sorry about that, guys. It was just a little alarm that went off. Anyways, so the pros are that there are extremely low prices. So that's something I talked about, that the prices is definitely the best reason. Probably some of the lowest prices you'll get for these parts. It's definitely cheaper than the pieces available on the Lego shop. The other great thing is large quantities are available. Now, there are quantity limits and maximums, but I am not familiar with that because I haven't ordered through these. Now, this I put as a pro, again, can be looked at as a con. So I'll do my best to explain this. I hope it doesn't come out to be confusing. So if a lug has maybe 20 or 30 members, as a collective, they are allowed to choose 85 elements, right? So they tend to choose elements that are more popular. So examples include leaf pieces, masonry bricks, round tiles. So pieces that can be used in a variety of situations. Those are the most popular. So I think when they say elements, that also goes with color. So if we have 1x1 brick in dark turquoise, that's one element. If we have 3x4 tile, or that doesn't exist. If we have 2x3 plate in green, that's one element. So you have a total of 85. So the pro is that it's actually quite a bit. Obviously the con is when you think about it, that's not a lot of parts. So the cons are that it takes 6 to 12 months after you've ordered it. So it is an extremely time-consuming process. And because of that, you need to have a lot of plans, right? You can't just order on a whim. I know this happens to me. I'm sure it might happen to some of you guys. When you are ordering on Bricklink, sometimes you add pieces just because they're cheaper or available. And I would not recommend that with lug bulk because it is something that takes a lot of planning. And the greatest thing is that you can get crazy high quantities of good parts at cheap prices. So that's definitely the best thing. But you definitely want to plan, what am I going to buy? What am I going to use these pieces for before you place an order? The final con, which is really just more of a prerequisite or requirement, is that you have to be a part of a lug. There's really no other way of going about this, and they have a very strict no selling policy. So if any of you guys out here are sellers or resellers, please be aware that you are not allowed to resell these pieces, and just don't. It's just not a good idea, right? Because Lego is kind enough to hold this program, and I would really hate to see that it's banned or something because people don't listen to the rules. Anyways, here's a picture, obviously not mine. I think I found this on Reddit or Google. Just a quick picture of a lug bulk order. Now this is not one person's order. I think this is a couple of different people together. So yeah, you can see you can get base plates. We have some leaf pieces, some girders, some masonry bricks, some tiles. I mean, if you were to order this anywhere else, this would be ridiculously expensive. But through the lug bulk program, it's affordable. So I hope this video helped, guys. I look forward to seeing your comments. And yeah, that really wraps up this video. I will see you guys very soon. And stay tuned for the second part coming very soon.